Good evening. I am StampinDeDe, and I am here this evening to share Dying to Know. Are you dying to know? I tell you what, the set that we're going to look at tonight, I have been dying to know about. I had to look up things online. I had to look at other cards on Pinterest to see if I could figure out what these pieces were. But I think I've got a pretty good idea of it now, and if I get something wrong, maybe you can help me out. The set we're going to look at tonight is Gone Fishing. So I'm not much of a fisherman, but I had fun trying to figure out all these pieces. All right, so that's pretty much it. I'll be doing a Facebook Live again Thursday morning, and we'll be using our designer series paper and creating a card. So I hope you'll join me at 10 o'clock Thursday morning for Stampin' Thursday. But for right now, we are going to get on with Gone Fishing, with Dying to Know. So hold on while I put the phone on the stand. All right. I think we're here. So here is the set, Gone Fishing. Let me move this over, and let me get over here and make sure that you can see everything. So hold on a minute while I bring it up on my computer. Here we go. All right. Yeah, great. So, Gone Fishing. And this is definitely a set that you can use to make great guy cards with. Masculine cards. So glad that you're my dad. And I used that on a card. So glad you're my dad. And then inside I put happy birthday. Because Father's Day has already come around. Happy retirement is always a good thing to have. Congrats, and good things come to those who wait. And if you've ever been fishing, you know that what you have to do is just wait. So, all right. And so as you can see, these are the stamps that are available with this set. And we're going to look at those stamps and figure out what they do. But look at the dies. This thing right here, this tackle box die is really the one that sold me on this set, because you can use that so many different ways, and we're going to look at some of those ways tonight. But along with that, we have all of these little pieces, and these are the things I had to figure out. What in the world are all of these little pieces? So let's start. I want to show you first. This is the card that is so popular on Pinterest, and I just had to make one. Not something I would make every day. Not one I would use for a birthday card all the time, because it is very labor intensive. But it is the tackle box, and it opens up. Only mine is coming unglued. Yeah, you really have to be careful gluing it down. So then you've got your lures and your weights and all of your things in here. And it's built up on foam strip. So it really, really, really makes a cute card. Isn't that cute? I mean, to send to somebody really special, it would be awesome. But it's really not one of the ones that I made to show. That was the first one I made. But not one of the ones we're going to talk about tonight. So first of all, we're going to look at these little pieces. So you have a die right here that cuts out 2 fish hooks. Here's what one of them, I've used the others on the cards, but this is what one, and I used the silver foil to cut out these pieces right here. So that would be the fish hook that this die cuts 2 of them out. Then this die cuts this and this. So the best thing this is the only piece I could not find online, but I think it may be a part of a fly fishing lure. So if you tie something fuzzy down on this end and your line here and put your hook down here with the fuzzy, then, you know, I can see that might be that. At first I thought it was a weight, but I really don't think it's a weight. I think it has more to do with fly fishing and with a lure. So if you know anything about that piece and you can help me out with that, then I would greatly appreciate it. All right. So, and this piece is to be used on the end of a fly fishing lure, and we're going to put one together here in a minute. So we're going to be using this piece, and I'm going to set it right over here. All right, then these are weights, and they're attached to the line to sink the hook down. And so these are all things that you would find in a tackle box, and that's why they're included in this set. All right, so we've looked at these. Here's your 3 weights, those 3. We've looked at the hooks, and we've looked at this piece right here that cuts both the triangle piece and this little jewel right here. All right, and so next, we're going to look at this piece and this piece. So I'm going to put these 2 over here, and there's a third piece, actually. This piece, and this piece. These 3 pieces go together to create a bobber. So I went ahead and cut the pieces out, and we're going to put that bobber together. It is really simple. The first thing we're going to do is add the red piece right here. Okay. And we're going to add that red piece right there. Get it scooted down. There we go. Beginning to look like a bobber, isn't it? And then we're going to attach that. And I don't know why this, maybe this balances it on the water. I'm not sure. All right. Then I know you hook your line and then throw this out and maybe put some weights on it. And this bobber will sit on top of the water and will go up and down if a fish bites. So this is a bobber. Whoops. So we took care of these 3 pieces as we created our bobber here. So I'm going to put these back. I think I'll put them right up here together. All right. So next, we're going to go to this bobber. To create this one, you really need to stamp, and that's where this comes in. Here's the bobber created. The first thing you do is you stamp the bobber. We'll do it that way. We stamp the bobber, and then you use red ink and you stamp this on the bobber, and that's where the red comes from. and then you die cut it with this. And it really looks like a bobber, doesn't it? I love the way that looks. All right. So that's that one. Put these back. And next we're going to look at these lures. This one, and these are the same thing. I just did them in different colors. And there again, this is the stamp. This is your stamp. And I did these all in basic gray. So there's that one. And then there is, let me find it, this one. Is that right? No, that's not right. Hold on a minute. Oh, it must be this one. No. How did I get that on there? Hold on. I'll find it. It's this. No, it's not that one. It's got to be this one. It's this one. It's the first thing I picked up. So you stamp this, and I stamped it in a basic gray. And then you're going to stamp this on top of it in any color you want. And one thing I learned about lures, they're all different colors. Every color under the rainbow. So there you can see it on that one. You can line it up with the eye and the mouth. So I did this one in the lemon lime twist, and this one is in more of a yellow, so saffron, I guess. So that's what those, and of course, you know, those just hook onto a line, and you hook a sinker on, a bobber on, and these go down. You might want to hook some weights onto this, but that's how that one works. All right. Let's see. I want to get this where you can see the stamps and the dies. It's hard. All right, so I'll put this one back over here. So we've got these two lures. Then, of course, we have our fish. Here's our fish. And there are a lot of fish on the cards I made. So this is just to show you. This is this die. This stamp. This is the fish stamp. And then you can come back with this one over it and add some color to it. Like that. Which is, I added the sweet sorbet. And I actually stamped this onto crumb cake. But several of the ones on the cards are stamped on white. So these were the same. I was practicing. You have to practice to get that lined up just right. So this one was a little bit off. This one was more on. All right, next. Let's see. This is another lure, I guess. Yes, because it has the hooks on it. So this is another lure. The stamp that we're going to use will be this one. This one is the stamp. And then to get the color, we would use this one. And it would just go right over it. You just stamp. And that would give you your stripes. So these two then make this one. All right. Which stamps have we not used? Let's see. We've got this one. All right. So now we're going to move to fly fishing. This is like lake fishing for catfish and crappie and bass. Fly fishing is a whole different ball game with a whole different set of lures. They're called flies, I think. So this stamps this, and on this one I stamped it all in the same color. We do have this one that you can add a different color onto it if you want to, or you could just take the die like I did on this one, cut it out just in whatever color paper you want, and then use that stamp to add some color to it. So there's lots of different ways. You can also, let's see, that one goes there. There's a die, this die right here. I had a hard time figuring this one out, but I think I figured it out. Let me turn it over. So what I did, at least, was I used this die and cut out my fly, and it's hard for you to see it on this. It's blue. Can you see that? Let's see. Yeah. And then I used this die and cut out this piece, and I would put it then right along the top of that. Or you could put it down here, or you could attach it to the very top. And I did it a couple of different ways on the cards. So there may be a better way to use this piece. I couldn't figure out what it was. So if you know a better way to use this piece, please help me out. But I think it looks really good like that. So I'm gonna say that that's the way to use it. All right. I didn't show you the die for the fish, but I mean, it's just your basic die to cut your fish out. All right, we have covered all of these dies and this one. So you've got this die that you can use to create a background, to create the top of the tackle box if you want, or the bottom of the tackle box. Then there's, of course, this tackle box die, and there'll be a couple of cards where I used this in different ways. It cuts each one of these squares out. So after I cut this, then I kept the squares and used them as inserts. Then there's this one, which cuts out waves, and you can see the impressions on it really look like water. So this one you would cut out, and I have a card where I've used this one. And these, and all I can do is show you the card. This will cut out it cuts a slit. It cuts a slit right here so you can tuck the fish down in that, and he looks like he's jumping up out of the water. And this is the ruffles, you know, the ripples around the water, and there's two sizes for that. All right, let me put this back here. I've got all my stamps back in place. All the stamps. We've got all the dies back in place. Your sentiments, again, good things come to those who wait. So glad that you're my dad. Happy retirement. Congrats, and happy Father's Day. There's one other stamp I did not talk about, and it's this one right here, and it just creates an interesting background. So, the best way I know to do is to show you on a card, except that one little piece, right here that cut out along with this. I showed you, it's this piece right here. Let's see, I'll find a place. This piece. I'm going to show you how I used it. I wanted to make a lure. So the first thing I did was just cut a small piece of cardstock, just maybe 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to break down the fibers on this just a little bit. Break it down. Let me get this on over here so you can see this lure that I created. And I put the string on it, and then if you did that on your card, you know, you just wind it around. So I'm going to break this down just a little bit. Breaking the fibers down, making it a little more pliable. All right, I think I've done that. And now I'm going to ruffle it or snip the edges. I'm going to snip, 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 snip. And I'm not going all the way to the end because I need to leave that end to cap. All right, we're almost there. All right, got that part done. Now I'm just going to take it and roll it, wind it up, and I'm going to put a little piece of glue right here on the end so it'll stay. And I'll fold it that one last time, hold it for a minute. And while I'm doing that, I can ruffle these, you know, bend them around. They're supposed to go every which way. Isn't that going to look cute in a tackle box? All right. I think we've got that. Now I'm going to take that little silver piece that I told you about. Let me put my dies away and move my pieces here over so that you can see a little better. Move this up here. All right, move this over here. Now I'm going to take this piece and glue it on to the end. Probably should do it on the back of this. I could have wound this up just a little bit tighter, and it probably would look a little bit more authentic. But okay, we'll let that. And while that's drying, I'm going to continue ruffling this out, bending my pieces out. All right, so that is how we made this. And I added, I don't know where the hooks would go. Honestly, I don't know. I assume they'd go up here somewhere. So I just glued that hook on. I put a double hook there. And there's a hole in the tip end of this, and so I put my string through there. And voila! As Frenchie would say, you have a lure. All right, so we've looked at all of the different die cut pieces and maybe some of the ways that we could use them. Let me put this up here. So are we ready to look at some cards that are made with this awesome set? All right, let me close this up. Move this right up here. Actually, I think I'll just move it away. So the first card that we're going to look at is Congrats. So this is using the Gone Fishing paper, the Designer Series paper. And this is one of these fish that I die cut, stamped and die cut, and I used the pink or the flirty flamingo. I just wrapped some twine around there and put Congrats. Nothing on the inside. This is using the stylish circles or the stylish shapes. All right. Easy enough, right? Let's see. Let's go to this one next. Remember I showed you the waves? Well, this was one that I cut, and then I cut one a little bit shorter. I used my white ink and just tipped the tops of those waves to make it look more real. And then right here, I used that one die, this one right here. I used that right there, ran it through the bigger wave, and it creates the ruffles and it creates that hole. And then I stuck my fish down in there. One of my fish that I stamped and die cut. I stuck him down in there. And then this is that fly fish looking die, this one right here, StampinDeDe. I stamped it. I used that second stamp and stamped over it. And then that funny looking little die, I added a third layer to it. Then this is that fly fishing, I think what must be a lure, fly, and a weight. I cut part of this off. I cut half of it off. So I cut the whole thing out, and it cut out these 3 spaces, or all the spaces, but I trimmed it off right here, and I trimmed the little nubs off up here so that it just looks like, I don't know, sort of a picture frame or a collage look. Then I used one of the squares that cut out of this. I used this one here, stamped it, and stuck it back in there. And then filled the other 2 squares with lures. And then on the inside, happy birthday. So glad that you're my dad. Happy birthday. What dad who loves to fish would not love to get that card? All right. We're just going to set those aside. So then let's look at this one, this card. Let me close this back up. So this card, on this one, I actually used the Countryside Inn dies. And I used a smaller size and cut out my designer series paper, and then I just cut it into 3 pieces. And then I used the larger one, the next size larger, and cut out my Misty Moonlight. This is that stamp that I showed you right here. So I just sort of created a background around my card to give it the essence of water. And then I used my layering ovals to do this. This is that fly fish stamp and die. This is that bobber, and then a hook. And you know, you could sit down one day in front of the TV and stamp several flies and stamp several bobbers and die cut them and have them ready to go. Put them in a little baggie, have them ready to go, and you could make a card for a man, a masculine card in nothing flat. All right, so we've got that one. On this one, I used the whole tackle box look. Now, I didn't create a tackle box like I did on that first card, but I just cut it out and put several of the dies, several of the lures and the bobbers and the hooks and the weights. I just put them in the spaces. I saved this one space because I wanted to use Happy Retirement, and I knew it would fit on that square. So that's the one I kept out. Good things come to those who wait. And then I put one of the fish in here. It doesn't make a cute card. Yeah, my next project is going to be sit down and just stamp and die cut a bunch of those and have them ready to go. Because really, the colors don't matter. Those lures are all different colors. And the fish are all different colors. All right, got that one. Last but not least, and this is a belly band card, a gatefold card. So on the belly band, that's where I did my decorating. And I just put a couple of fish, stamped Celebrate from another set, and put some gems on it. Cut this with the contour die. And then inside, we have our pop-outs that I put a bobber on this one and 2 lures over on this one. Happy Retirement. All right. Such an easy card to make. So easy. I think I did a video. I did. One of my videos demonstrates this particular, one of my Facebook Lives, this particular fold. All right. That's it. Those are the cards that I've made with my Gone Fishing set. So I hope I have encouraged you to give it a try, to get this set, play around with it. You'll always have a card in your stash ready to give to one of your masculine male friends. All right, if you're watching this on the replay, or if you're watching on YouTube, if you have any questions, please ask. Just leave a comment, and I check my comments, and I would be glad to answer any questions that you may have. And if you enjoyed this video, if you were dying to know about Gone Fishing, and now you feel like you know more about it, and you know somebody else that needs to know, then share this video from YouTube. Share it with them. I love your comments. That helps the visibility on YouTube, and I just love to look on Facebook Live and see your comments and see that you've watched it. So please holler at me. Hi, Kay. I'm glad you like these cards. Aren't they great masculine cards? So that's it for Dying to Know. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching the replay. And I hope to see you Thursday morning. Bye-bye.